I just use the loading
I don't know,
screen
it's
go open
powered
up
by
my
a little
inventory.
propane bottle.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's about
Can we
this big.
cook steaks in a pan on it?
Yeah, I do that to go make a drink.
Peter's also gonna bring his dad's Packer
Green Bay
grill.
Packers.
Is it a Coleman? Is it flat and red?
It's a Coleman. It's
It
green.
This
is.
will be
Oh,
perfect
it's green.
for
All right.
bacon and
I know what
eggs.
you're talking about. Yeah.
Yours will be good for bacon, eggs, and beans.
Mine's good for hot dogs.
I
and
don't have
steaks
any
and shit.
pans or anything.
So
I
is a
just got
fire.
that. Because my parents are going camping that weekend as well.
Okay.
And so they're using most of their camping stuff.
We
But
could
they have a
probably use
nice-
some of my dad's.
They have a nice camper, so they don't need the camp stove. Because they have one in the camper.
What are we gonna do about our food and stuff sitting out?
Put it in a cooler.
Yeah, but
Bears.
Oh, you're worried about bears?
I'm not worried about them. There are bears.
Or
Befriend
raccoons.
them.
Oh.
Because we'll have to, because
Then
our
you got some
cars
pet bears.
further away from
Yeah.
our
Just
campsite.
think how cute that would be.
Dry
at the wedding.
ice.
A bunch
Dry
of bears in
ice.
tuxedos.
Yes.
Our
Oh, do you guys have a ring bear at your ceremony?
Ring bearer.
Oh.
No, a ring bear. You a ring bear.
It'll be you.
I'm not a bear.
It'll be you.
I'm not gay. I'm big and hairy, but I'm not gay.
Well, yes, you are. That day
Okay,
you will be.
I'll be gay that day. That's fine.
So Mike's not going to be in the wedding anymore
Why?
because he left the state.
Why?
Because he got fired and then Jen got fired because of him.
Jen's fired.
Yeah.
Oh
Why?
man, let's talk about this.
No,
Why?
we don't have to talk about it.
No,
How-
let's wait until we're recording and then we'll talk about it.
No,
because
but
that seems like
how
good
did she
radio.
How did she get fired?
Basically, because she worked underneath him.
Oh.
And then
That's
there's
bullshit.
a lady that worked.
The only person she should be working under these is you, right, Peter? Oh!
Did I ever
because
meet?
I
did I
poop
meet
on her
Mike?
chest.
Did I meet Mike or no?
Yeah, you've met him. He was at our apartment.
When
we
we
were
had the
watching.
raviolis.
Wait, you went to get ravioli?
Jen made them.
I want ravioli.
So it wasn't his wife in it too or something or no?
He doesn't have a wife.
Who's the? I thought there was two people that.
Oh, that's Jason. Jason's still
Oh,
in.
okay.
There's a much more important question here. What was the ravioli stuffed with?
Meat
Cheese.
and cheese.
But what kind of meat and what kind of cheese?
I think it was
I
just
don't know.
cheese.
I just put it all in my asshole, and then it came out,
Don't put ravioli in your
and
asshole.
then I put it in the wrap.
So it's your brothers, me, Dan, and Jason.
Yep.
What did you say? For groomsmen.
Oh.
Well, it's my brother. Yeah, Matt, Chris, and then
Or it could be this cable
That
that's
guy.
bad. Let's hope it's not the cable.
Peter.
YouTube is live. Mixer will be going live in just a minute.
I'm feeling
Because
pretty
every hour after
feeling
we
pretty
started.
good.
Pretty gooey.
Pretty gooey. What does that
Because
mean?
Yeah,
I
gooch
stopped
is gooey, huh?
My gooch is
Yeah, the
dripping.
headphones are working.
I got a
Yeah,
dripping gooch.
Carlos, high five. You want me to turn that shit down for you?
I got a greasy gooch.
Where's my high five?
Greasy.
Fuck you, Carlos.
My dripping gooch.
Dripping gooch.
Is that better,
the sound
Carlos?
of a dripping
No,
gooch?
it's
Yep.
too loud still.
I think it needs to be more viscous. Because I don't know about
How's
you,
that?
but
Lost.
my
Is that
down.
is that changing it?
Keep
pretty
going.
gnarly.
Is that changing it?
I'm not hearing
It's like
it.
a
Viscous sound.
Nothing.
Who is changing who is hearing a change in sound? Okay.
Took you a bit there. That's me. That's me.
Let's just make it
That's me.
insanely
That was
obvious.
me.
That was me.
That was me.
That was me.
Stop lying.
No, I'm not lying.
Who gives a shit?
Do that last one again. Yep.
That's you?
Yeah, it's-
Keep
it's
going.
us.
I want to hear
Oh,
it
that's
now.
both of you on the same one? Oh, that's right. It's split. I'm sorry.
I want to hear
Yeah.
that now.
Okay, you guys are on the same.
Do it to mine.
Peter wants to hear it.
Do
Can
it to
people
mine.
make live comments on this?
Yeah, just go to the YouTube channel and look at the chat, and it should be live.
Wait,
Oh,
we're on YouTube. Hey, we're on YouTube.
Right here.
Uh-oh. The tubes of you.
Oh.
Somebody watched you masturbate.
Really?
I guess I will do this one from.
And I'll put the chat there. So
People
you can
liked
see
it. I could make a
And there's
living.
Peter right there. I think we could put a hat on him.
Do you have any hats?
The digital.
And there's
Do you
that
have a hat?
thing. I don't know. We'll fuck with it later.
Give me a hat.
There's Google Effects.
Give me a hat.
Wait, Google effects? Add a hat.
I'm trying to figure it out, okay?
How about we start
Add
the
a
show?
hat.
We're waiting on.
Trying to figure out how to put a hat on Pete.
Didn't it take you like 10 fucking minutes last time?
You're right. We're not going to worry about hats.
Give me a hat.
No, fuck you.
Hey, that's weird. Can you turn me back up? You didn't turn me to where I was. Hey, thanks a lot.
How's that?
That's great.
Better? All right.
Hey, thanks a lot.
All right, you guys ready to start the show?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Is Sean coming?
Apparently not, because he's not here right now, and it's time to go, and he didn't answer any of my phone calls.
I figured.
Sean.
Sean does that. He'll show up after the show and be like, hey guys, when was the show? Fuck you.
Maybe he doesn't like the show.
The following audio was recorded during a meeting of the Department of Offense. It is not suitable for children, the easily offended, or anyone with actual taste. You have been warned.
Jane Goodall motorboating a gorilla's floppy milk. Segways everywhere.
Schmegma. Dick juice.
I would make a lot of rectangles. I could never do squares right.
We all had to put pants on this week because you're here.
And now it's time for the Department of Offense.
Welcome to episode 87 of the Department of Offense. I'm Casey, your host. Joining me, as always, is Carlos.
I'm here.
And Eric.
Hi.
And Matt.
Howdy doody.
And then special guest, Pete.
Hi.
And Dan.
Damn.
Yeah, we have a full studio this week, so it should be a lot of fun. A late night show, which we haven't done in a while.
So we're back to the normal time show now?
I'm
I
tired.
suppose this was the normal time. I should probably start the Mixler thing. I
Yeah.
forgot to do that. Speaking of which, we're going to do something a little different this week. Before
Uh-oh.
I start asking you guys how your week was and we go into it, I have a few beginning of the show announcements because I've gotten some feedback that
Wow.
people don't always listen until the very end of the show. So I should put some stuff at the beginning. So the big thing is listen every Saturday live at blindnewsstudios.com/live or find us on youtube.com/blindnewsstudios because we do have a video feed going on YouTube right now.
You can see Peter
You
masturbate.
you can see Pete masturbate. You can see all of
They can
our
see this?
smiling
You
faces.
can see
Except-
how Neanderthalish Dan's head is.
He's very
Aw.
self-conscious about it. It's okay.
That's what I'm looking at right now.
But hopefully he'll enjoy the show and come back, even though we're assholes to him. And you can see how big of a chrome dome Eric has.
I have a very shiny
I
head.
have no hair.
If you have any questions, comments, or show ideas throughout the show, go ahead and send those to feedback@blindnewsstudios.com or shoot us a message on Facebook at facebook.com/blindnewsstudios. Or if you're listening live, send them directly to the chat. Eric will get them and relay them to us. If you want to engage in the conversation that we're talking about, again, live stream is a great way to do that. There is an off week next week, as most of us are in the woods.
The woods. I whip my hair
There's
back and
nothing
forth. I whip my
sexual
hair.
about that, I assure
It's
you.
Peter's bachelor party.
Again, nothing
It's
sexual will be
sexual.
happening.
Naked
Wait,
dudes in the woods. Don't worry.
Yeah, I don't think we can get a prostitute very easily on Madeline Island.
Oh, yeah, you
Well,
can.
we have to sack one and bring it with.
Put her in a
Well,
bag.
who says you need a prostitute for that? You just grab any old broad off the street, put her in a bag, and take her with
See,
you.
there are no streets. There are no broads. You know.
There's
No,
no
I'm saying-
streets and no
I'm saying you
broads.
take one from
Maybe
like
at the only bar we're gonna go to there that is on the island. Maybe they have fresh sluts there for us.
Fresh sluts.
here.
Great.
Wait, are there stale sluts?
Jen,
I don't know.
Jen, are you listening? Fresh sluts.
I fucking hope not.
It's my last chance to get them fresh. Otherwise, I'm gonna get the
Okay.
Poor Pete.
Stale sluts.
Well,
Stale
that is
sluts.
all of the beginning of the show announcements that I have for you guys. So, Carlos, we're going to start with you as always. How was your week?
It was alright.
What did you do?
Well, besides not sleeping, I played a lot of Destiny.
Carlos, man, this sounds a lot like last week.
Yeah.
It's been out 2 weeks.
Doing anything besides Destiny?
Well, I did not.
I used the bathroom when I absolutely
Didn't
had
shower,
to.
though. It takes too long.
It was fun, though, so I'm having fun.
Good, good. Eric.
Well, I think the most enjoyable piece of news that I have is that Blind Ninja Studios got a new shower curtain.
We did. It's very exciting.
It is. It's got
Well,
pictures
actually,
on it.
Blind Ninja Studios didn't get a new shower curtain. We got a new shower
Well,
curtain.
I didn't want to be like, hey, like you guys can't shower too if you need to.
No, they cannot.
Oh, dang it! But I want
They have their own homes to shower
I set up a
in.
webcam just
It's
for
not a communal.
I was gonna go
shower
up there after
curtain.
the show as a bonus extra.
Bonus feature.
Oh, all right, fine. Pete'll go up and we'll record it,
Nice.
but
See,
we'll
that's-
only put it on
Great.
YouPorn.
That's how exciting my life is.
Matt, how's it been going on your end? You went to 2 concerts
I
this
did.
week, right?
The
Last
Replacements, I'm
week's-
freaking jealous,
Yep,
man.
I saw the Replacements, their first show in 23 years. That was really cool, and it was at Midway Stadium. And
The
then
last show at Midway Stadium.
the last thing to ever happen at Midway Stadium, yes.
It's where the Twins used
It
to
was like 15,000 people, and
Wait,
the tickets sold out in like
the
10
last
minutes.
thing ever to happen at Midway
Yep,
Stadium?
because it's getting torn down.
Didn't that just get built?
No,
No,
the
no,
new one,
Target Field.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Midway's the very old one in St.
Oh,
Paul.
okay.
And now they have one in downtown St. Paul
Yeah.
building for the Saints. And then I saw the Used and Taking Back Sunday, 2 of my high school bands. That I
Oh,
love.
wow.
Oh.
Sounds like a great
Fun.
week.
Yeah.
Listen for my special comments on Soundwave about the used.
Oh, I
and
love
other
you,
band.
Eric.
Oh, did you guys talk about both of the concerts on Soundwave this week?
Yeah, he wasn't having the other one, though.
Nah, I was like the used.
You don't like the Used,
I
huh?
do not.
He doesn't
don't
like
like
any of
emo.
that kind of music.
That's true.
I don't even know who that is.
He wasn't in high school at the time.
Ah, that
Yeah, I
makes
was
sense.
10 years out of high school.
And again, I like Goober Peas, so.
Well, you're sick and wrong, Casey.
Pete, what have you been up since the last time you've been on the show?
That's it.
Just cackling.
He's getting ready for his,
Cackling.
He's getting ready for
That's
his
right.
wedding.
You're getting married soon, right? How many weeks?
3.
Man, I don't have taps
3
queued up.
and
I
a
should be like,
half. 3.5 weeks.
3.5 weeks. Huh?
Yeah,
Are you excited?
A couple days ago, it was
Terrified?
30. I'm excited. It's gonna be a good day. Good
It
day.
is going to be a good day.
A good day for all.
It's going to be fantastic.
Oh,
I'm really excited.
I'm looking forward to some beer.
I'm excited to leaving the ceremony to M83. That sounds fun.
Hell yeah.
I'm glad I wasn't invited so I can crash it and piss your girlfriend off.
We got a bouncer, and we're gonna put a picture of you. Don't let this bald guy.
He's got a
in.
picture just on the back of his clipboard.
We'll give him a
I'll
mustache.
get a wig, yeah, a wig and a mustache. And I'll be
Do
like, I'm not Eric, I'm Enrique, and I was invited to
Enrique.
this wedding.
Enrique.
Teaching everyone to dance. My best friend from 7th grade.
I think he just like bust into safety dance at that point.
No, he's going
If
to
you
bust
don't
into Tiny Tim.
That works.
You just see him coming in the back, just Tiny Tim.
That'd be awesome.
Well, Dan, it's
That'd
your
be
first
creepy
time
as fuck.
in the studio here, right?
It is.
It is. So, Dan,
Very
tell us a
nice.
little bit about Dan.
Dan
we
is an
we need to know about
excellent
Dan.
host.
It's like Fifth Element.
Oh man.
So, how do you know Pete?
I met Pete through Jen about 6 years ago, I'd say.
Yeah, we've been together that long, Dan.
Yep.
Also, you two are getting married.
You two are getting married. That's legal in this state, I think.
Jen doesn't know.
The papers are really them too.
I met Pete about 6 years ago. I met Pete through Jen. I don't remember the first time I met Pete or Jen, but I know it was a good time.
I probably met you around that long ago too, but never really hung out with
Yeah,
you.
I hung out with you one time, Matt, at Emma's bar, and I think it was from Paul
I'm
Turner.
pretty sure everyone has a story of the first time they hung out with Matt at Emma's bar.
Probably.
Yeah, well, Paul Turner was like, Dan, you got to meet this guy named Matt. He looks just like you. And I was like, oh, all right. And I met you, and I was like, holy shit, you do look like me.
Do
And
we
I was
look
much
alike?
thinner.
Much thinner.
He has a Neanderthal face. I can't answer
Yeah.
this.
You got a long head, Dan.
That's more of a Paleolithic man.
Was that what's Lumberg's barn that we had parties in? Whose barn?
Yeah, that was
Were you
Lumberg's.
there?
I was at a couple.
He was there a
of
couple
those.
times.
I don't reckon.
And I mostly remember Paul playing that one Nine Inch Nails song, the two of us together or something, and it's just like he was going way into it.
Just the
Two
two
of
of
us.
us.
We
Well, I
can
wanna
make
be
it
like
if
common
we
people.
try.
That's
yeah.
Paul.
Oh, we were thinking of different songs.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I was thinking of a song.
Empty air. Well, Dan, it's great to have you here. You're a
Thank
beer
you.
drinker, right?
Yes.
All right, good. So when we get to the beer tasting aspect of this show, you'll be able to lend your palate and give us some interesting feedback, right?
Yes.
No pressure.
No.
All right. Well, this week has actually been really interesting for me. It started with Kelsey's fashion show. We all went. I think everybody here was there except for Dan. I didn't see Dan there.
Oh, damn.
But what do you guys think of Kelsey's fashion show this year? Carlos, we're going to start with you because you had the most critical things to say last year.
Yeah,
Asshole.
and you know this year the biggest thing was that Matt,
It's okay, she doesn't listen.
Matt dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Matt
You're
did
supposed
drop
to-
the ball. We
that's
do
supposed to
kind
be
of
blue
need to talk
steel.
about
I
that.
read it wrong. I'm
Stuff.
sorry.
How could you? How could
Why
you
would
even-
I do blue steel? I was not on runway. That makes no sense at all.
Okay, so I sent Matt a text message earlier in the day. I might have even sent it
I
on
thought
air.
it said Carlos is gonna.
And I
get
said,
on there and do
hey,
it.
Carlos says you should do blue steel. And you're like, yeah, that sounds awesome. And we get there, and we're watching that, and we're like, oh, man, blue steel is going to happen. And blue
Should've
steel did not
reminded
happen.
me.
So for those of you who are living under a rock, blue steel is from what movie, Carlos?
Zoolander.
Zoolander.
Hey, they're gonna make a
what-
sequel.
They are. Zoolander 2.
That's awesome, actually. I'm excited.
Blue
now.
Steel. Return.
Somebody should do the blue steel into the webcam right now.
Then do the blue steel and the
I
red.
can't. Nobody can see me. If I
Just-
turn around, you can't see me.
Pete, give me a blue
What's the
steel.
blue
No, it's
steel?
got to be
Okay.
Dan because he's
That's right.
turning his head.
I
there.
can't because I don't like Zoolander.
Fine, hang on.
Oh, dude. How can you not like having gasoline fights? Look, Casey's got it. That's blue steel.
That is so blue steel.
He's
Yeah.
been working on that for years.
So yeah, Matt dropped the ball on that.
You know,
You
I,
dropped the bar of soap on that one.
but I will say that the outfit that Matt was wearing was quite fetching.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, it was so
very,
cool.
very
you
cute.
looked just like Shia LaBeouf
You did look a whole lot like Shia LaBeouf.
from
Shia LaBeouf.
Lawless, right? That was the name.
Yeah,
of it.
Lawless.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
no,
the time
I-
period Kelsey was going for.
You know, I feel like she really hit it on the head this year. It
this
was
was by far her best one for sure.
I will agree with that. I
Yeah,
also
just except for that Matt person.
I also really like the little kid in the
The
baseball.
baseball
Oh,
one,
yeah.
that
But
was-
I also
yeah.
feel like he missed an opportunity by not like point like
Yeah,
he was
could
wearing
ball.
like a Babe Ruth.
He was already nervous
Jersey.
enough to hold the bat.
I
like
know,
that.
but like if he would have pointed out like just the bravado and shit there, I think he would have gotten like a standing
I'll
out.
be
Yeah.
honest.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea what his shirt said until
said-
It said Ruth.
yeah.
33.
I couldn't read it until like later.
Mm,
It was an afterthought.
it was. We heard the
Afterthought.
story.
Yeah, it was an afterthought.
But the worst part about the day was
Bees.
everyone bailed so early.
Well, let's be
Yeah, I
honest.
guess
The alcohol
that's true.
table was surrounded by wasps.
Yeah, but I was one with the bees.
You were one with that.
Bee's knees.
You were the bee's knees.
You had to become one of them, otherwise
So
they'd kill you.
Pete and I were bartending through the entire event, and there was a wasp nest or a bee's nest or something around us, and so the entire day we were just surrounded by bees.
Yeah, I killed like 10 of them. They
Some-
kept coming.
I did not kill any because I was
Well,
one
they
with the
landed in my
bees.
drink and I just scooped them out.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You're done.
I did that a
you're
few
done.
times. Actually, when they would land in the shaker, I would just shake them up with the drink.
Yeah. Yeah, that little girl didn't care at all. She's like, ew. I'll still drink it.
Well, it's protein, bro.
We were making these drinks called they were called the bee's knees. It was a
Those
honey
are good.
simple syrup, gin, and lemon.
And it was freaking good.
They were
I thought
really
it was
good.
a lime.
No, it was the lemon.
Dude, you
That one
ruined the recipe.
He couldn't figure out a drink to save his life.
Yeah, he's like, I was asking him like, hey, can I get a Coke? And he's like, hey, Casey, how do I make a Coke?
Casey, what do I do with this one?
I don't,
In all honesty, though, that was me last year.
yeah, it was. It was. Every year, like my second or my assistant bartender doesn't know how to make any of the
Alright,
beverages.
Next time I'll bartend. Next year I'll bartend.
No, but then you'll know how to make things,
I
and
know,
you'll,
but
you'll actually
I'll
expect a tip.
I'll break the curse. No, I wouldn't expect a tip. I'll do it for the free booze.
No, it was a lot of fun. It was great. I made so many beverages. I made
was
myself a bunch of old fashions.
Yeah.
I bought myself a new muddler because that was important.
You made me like a triple old fashioned. Like
I
the first
did.
one I had, I was like, ooh.
Well, that's how I was making them for myself. I figured that's
Yeah,
what you
well,
wanted.
That's what I wanted. Yeah.
I had a bunch
not
of
what I
mojitos that day. That was nice and tasty.
Yeah, well, Kelsey's mom had a fresh mint plant there, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, shall we talk about the beer?
What
you
beer?
guys, you need to finish that beer. You need to finish that.
I just poured it.
Oh, okay, good.
I need the beer.
Oh,
I will.
will you hand some of that Citra Session Ale over here while the beer is going around the table, so we make sure everyone has some. I'll read a bit about the beer because that's a thing I can do. Here you go, Carlos. Just open that one because it's gonna get drunk. Because this is good. Reload.
My books.
Damn it. All right. Well, my beer advocate crashed, so I got to go to the website.
Beer advocate coming up.
You have a bathroom down here?
It's at the top of the stairs.
Oh no!
Not
To the
down
top
here.
of the stairs. If you got to go quick.
Well,
We used to take a break in the middle of the shows just for that reason. In fact, the first time we had Pitchfork on the show, we had to stop in the middle of the show because everyone had to pee.
It's the thing with these beer shows.
Beer Advocate might,
Right.
might be down.
No, I just got
I'm
there.
on the main site, but I'm trying to search, and the search isn't coming up.
Is it down?
This smells like.
Yeah, I'm getting.
All right, give me a
502.
bottle then.
502 air.
Is that an empty bottle? Give me that.
No, this is a almost empty.
All right, well, here. Top her off there and give me the empty one. We'll figure this out. We're professionals.
This does not seem very professional right
How does this not seem professional?
This is totally professional.
Our internet's up.
We're
Eric
getting
just,
drunk.
Eric just spilled beer on this keyboard. I mean,
Oh shit!
His keyboard? No, that's my
his
keyboard.
There was only a foam bubble. There was only a foam bubble.
Okay, so the beer that we have in front of us is Citrus Session IPA from Green Flash. It's their Hop Odyssey Epic Journey limited release. On the bottle it says, "We believe in continuously evolving. This means crafting and sharing special release and experimental brews to inspire and enlighten your palate. Our passion for hops presents infinite possibilities. We are constantly exploring new hop varieties, fresh combinations, and innovative brewing methods." All right, so this is a Golden Session IPA with citrus notes. You're going to see lemon, orange, and grapefruit. It comes in at 4.5% and 45 IBUs, and is brewed with 100% Citra hops. And Citra is one of my favorite hop varieties, just because of those. You usually get a lot of the orange and grapefruit, and just a hint of the lemon. It's a fantastic flavored hop, and it seems like this is a very simple beer to bring that out. Carlos, what do you think?
it's not bad.
What do you smell? Give me an aroma here.
Hops. And that's what I smell.
Do you pick out any like specific aromas though?
Oh God, no.
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 Okay. No, that's
you are
fine.
asking the wrong person for that.
I know, but I'm trying to evolve your palate as
The
we
fact
go
that
on
I
here.
can smell hops.
You realize this is episode 87. We've been doing this for 87 weeks.
How about you let somebody that knows what they're talking about?
No,
take
Carlos
over?
can go first. We got this.
So, yeah, it smells like
Smells like hops. That's fine.
You know, I would say it smells like Citra.
Okay, that's fine.
I did not just read the label and just.
How does it taste? How does it taste?
You know, actually, I'm not that big a fan of the taste.
Really?
I don't know, like it's not. I don't know how to describe it, but it's not the direction the way I prefer most IPAs.
How would you like it instead? I think the only thing I can think of is a little drier. It seems a little sweet for my opinion.
Yeah, it is.
For my palate.
It could use a
I can breathe.
little bit drier taste to it.
Okay.
And it's like a little. I don't know how to say it. Like a little light on the tongue.
Okay. Yeah. Light mouthfeel.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's a little too light for
Okay.
an IPA.
Eric.
Instantly the smell, you can smell like the grapefruit rind, not like the actual fruit itself. It's got a good bitterness like to the smell too. Like you can smell that Citra, and you can definitely tell that's Citra. Like Carlos said though, like it does have kind of a light mouth feel. It feels very kind of watery. I think it tastes good though. It definitely is Citra hop. You can taste that full front.
Mhm.
I don't know, like you were saying about the sweetness. I don't know. It's good to me.
Carlos, what would you rate it out of 100?
Out of 100,
Yeah. Or fine, give me out of 10.
out of 10, I'd give it a 8.2.
Okay,
that'd be
so
an
82.
Yeah, that'd be an 82. I can do numbers out of 100 too.
All right, good for you. Eric,
Um,
out of 10
Out
or
of-
100,
out
whatever
of 10,
you want to
10
do.
or 100, I'd give it a solid 80,
80. Okay.
82, whatever.
Matt, what do you think?
This Scotch ale, it's pretty good.
You're drinking the Scotch instead of the.
No, I had some. I was just kidding. I had some of the IPA. It tastes like an IPA.
Yeah. Nothing special for you.
There isn't anything really defining in it for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can usually taste the difference, but I'm sure it's a 90.
Out of 100.
8. Yeah.
All right. 80. All right, Dan. Let's get your discerning palate in on this.
Oh God.
We talked it up a bit, and so now let me down, please.
Well, there was a good hop to it. I hate to admit, but when I first tried it, I stuck my tongue out.
That's.
But I
that's
do
completely-
like hops. I'd give it a 7.8.
Okay. All right.
78.
78.
Not bad.
7.8 out of
Bait.
100, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it's all right. I mean, the aroma. I get the cat urine smell.
Actually, there is a bit of cat piss in there.
Yeah.
The smell.
The,
I get that right away.
Like Citra and Simcoe are very notorious for cat piss.
It's good flavor.
I'd give it a 69.
So you're saying that
69.
they
You just wanted to say 69, didn't you?
I would give it a I would give it a 70. But a
Take
69.
away one for the cat piss.
Yep.
So give it
All right.
69.
So you're
I think this beer is very two-dimensional. All you taste is Citra.
Yeah.
It needs a better malt bill to bring up something sweet to back up that citrus flavor.
I gave it something a bit. Lower.
Yeah, I would give it in the 70-80s where we've been hitting. It has a 90 on BA, and I'm not quite sure why. Granted, I mean it's a good beer, but if I'm looking for a session pale ale or a session IPA, I want something that has a bit more body to it.
Yeah.
I want something that it seems like I'm drinking an IPA that's 4.5%.
Yeah.
I don't want this hop water.
I think it may be because Green Flash has such a huge following among beer people. Because Green Flash, they make good shit.
I've
And
never
so
heard
I
of them
think-
before.
Don't get me wrong. If you haven't
lot of
tried
people-
Citra hops, this is a great
Yeah.
beer
Oh, yeah.
where you will just
So
taste
does
Citra.
the
That's
nine-
all you get.
Does the 9 have a lot to do with the same kind of dogfish head before we could get it here?
Yeah,
Like, everybody
I
was
think
fucking
so.
flipping out over it.
Yeah.
And now it's
you
here. I
remember
haven't even
that.
seen you drink it once.
Oh, we did an entire Dogfish Head show.
Okay, yeah,
But-
I was gone for that, but since then,
Yeah.
I
Well,
figured
it's-
that'd be like all you're drinking
No.
now that we can get it here.
So Dogfish Head was built up and built up and built up, and I tried it, and I was extremely underwhelmed because it was shortly after the West trip I took.
yeah.
And when you have better
When I had Russian River, Lagunitas from the source, Cascade, all that stuff, and I came back and I tried Dogfish Head, and it just made me so sad.
there are a few Dogfish Heads that are astounding.
Well, we had one last
Yeah.
week that was fantastic. I
But-
really enjoyed it.
Which one was
But-
that one? That was
We
I
just
forgot
threw
it.
away the bottle.
yeah. I
It
forgot
was
what it was.
the combination one.
Yeah, it was like a cider and a beer.
Oh yeah.
And it was really good. I like some of the more esoteric things, like the historical beers that they do.
Midas Touch.
The Midas Touch, which you only drink a shit ton of that because it was so cheap. It was like what, $5.99 a 4-pack or something.
Yeah, it was really cheap, but I did like it.
And the distributor mispriced it, and so Divine was selling it for a song
Yeah.
for a 9 or 10% beer.
It was like half of what they should have been charged.
Yeah, for like a couple week period, like I actually wasn't getting drunk.
Carlos is like, I haven't been drunk in ages. This is great. I love it.
It's been
Oh,
a
that's
while.
Netflix. I didn't want to open. I just opened Netflix on my iPad, guys. So we're gonna watch Netflix now.
All right, show's over. Bye.
All right. Well, I think if we're done talking about the beer, that means
Can I smoke in your basement? Are we able to smoke down here?
I need a cigarette.
Nicking hearts.
With Casey.
That's
we're gonna
you.
talk about some news now.
Some news. We're gonna let those banjos go.
I was kind of like the banjos go. All right. A Pennsylvania man has been charged with making 3 911 calls to report bogus emergencies. After the third call, police showed up and arrested him for abusing the 911 system. When asked why he kept making calls, 53-year-old Gregory Schaefer said that he was lonely and just wanted the paramedics to show up and be his friends.
Wow, that is that's sad.
It is a little sad.
Did you take him to jail so he could
Wah,
a bunch of
wah,
friends there?
wah. They did.
To prison?
No, they just took
He
him to
made
jail.
some very close friends.
He's probably somebody's bitch now.
Or maybe he'll be the sad person that keeps dropping the soap in the prison showers and just hopes that somebody comes there.
Yeah.
People do that on purpose. Oh,
Speaking of the smoking thing, if you absolutely have to, it's okay this one time. We'll let it slide. Apparently,
Wait, did he just?
yes, because I don't want to stop the show.
For real? Did he?
Yes, there's an
I can't-
ashtray there. Go
I
for
can't-
it.
You sure?
Apparently, Barbie has learned a few new tricks this year. Talina Woods, age 25, from Wales, recently purchased a Life in the Dreamhouse talking Barbie doll for her
Ooh.
daughter. The toy is supposed to
You
say
heard it first.
phrases from are taken from the Barbie web series, Life in the Dream House. But this particular Barbie apparently had another program response. What the fuck?
Nice.
That is the program response from the Barbie. That is not for me. I do not support the word fuck. Oh, you guys can't light them. Whose fault is that?
He got us good. He got us good.
I just gave them permission to smoke, and they can't light a fucking cigarette.
Dan,
where's your lighter?
I was really hoping the Barbie would have said was making moaning sounds or something.
Oh,
Like
that
the
would have been
sex-
so much better.
Like the talking
Give me a
sex doll got
cigarette.
switched around with the fucking Barbie doll.
Yeah, that would have been great. Just absolutely awesome. Talina apparently heard the phrase while her daughter was playing with the doll and immediately took it away, saying that the Barbie had been bad. Other people who heard
Naughty Barbie.
Right. Other people who heard the phrase in question are saying that the Barbie is really saying off the hook. Can you make off the hook what the fuck?
Off the hook.
Like, does that
What
even
the
make
fuck?
any sense?
Off the hook. What the fuck? Nope.
No, they don't sound any...
Oh,
No.
kinda.
They're
kinda.
OTH,
close at
WTF.
all.
Well, wait, is it just this one person that's hearing this?
Yeah,
Then maybe they're they're a little
I'm
crazy.
pretty sure they're just crazy. I need more beer because this is important.
Pardon me?
This news is so depressing. I need to drink
Right?
more. How can Barbie say the word fuck?
Oh no, I poured that too vigorously. All right, Australian model Sarah Marie Summer currently has a bra size of 8M.
Did we talk about her before?
We have not talked about her
no.
before.
8M.
8M.
Is that as big as this table?
I think that's like
That's huge.
that's
It's
like
huge.
having 2 blimps in a bra.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Why did Barbie never get pregnant?
Oh no, she did. There's
Because Ken
pregnant
doesn't
Barbie.
have any genitals.
Because
No.
Ken always came in a box.
Oh.
Did you just make that up?
He always came in a box,
No.
Carl.
No.
Carl!
Carl!
Coral.
He always came in a box, Carl.
That's a good coral meme right there.
I think we just.
It already was one.
Right. All right, so Sarah is believed to have the largest fake breasts in Australia. But 8M is not big enough, damn it. Sarah told Australia's Women's Today magazine that they aren't quite big enough, and she wants another augmentation.
She have one of them back braces where she doesn't fall.
She almost needs one. Like, I was looking at
Is there
this
a picture?
picture. Yeah, they're
Getting
nasty.
pictures.
Look it up.
What's her
It's
name?
Sarah Marie Sumner. Maire Sumner.
Found it.
Summer. Okay.
I ain't gonna lie. I'd hit it.
Sarah
Not that
said.
bad.
Well, you're
It's not as
definitely
bad
not
as
lying.
you think.
It could be worse.
It could be
But
worse.
it's gonna be worse.
It's going to be worse. So Sarah said, I want to look silly, and I want to be huge. They make people smile, and that makes me happy, so that can't be a bad thing. Sarah is currently 23 and had her first augmentation at 17. And this
that
new one
legal?
will be her 4th. Yeah, it's legal if the parents say it's okay.
Okay.
An 18-year-old Texan, Papa Murphy's employee, is balls deep into trouble, guys.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Apparently, employee Austin Simmons was ticked that a customer ordered a stuffed crust Hawaiian pizza just minutes before close, so Austin added a special ingredient, his balls.
Oh no, Austin!
Wait, like his balls, or like he just rubbed it?
He rubbed his balls on them.
That's
Maybe
not-
she could
that's
have
not
way
me out
better
with
if he
these
actually
boobs.
cut his balls off and then added them as a pizza.
Oh, that would have just been
This is not
nice.
news. Okay.
How many times
How is
does
this not news?
Sarah Sumner walk around a corner and knock something off?
Like, she's just like walking through a china shop and knocking shit off of the
She has
shelf
the
with her
same-
tits.
She
Like
has
the-
the same problem with her boobs that I have with my boner.
It's like that old guy from Road Trip.
Can't control it.
I see you, baby. Shake that ass. Shake that ass. My boner gets in the way.
So yeah.
On the glass crystal thing. Oh, I haven't thought of that in a long time.
I see you, baby.
Austin rubbed his balls all over the pizza within view of the customer. That's right, within view of the customer.
Wow, I would say that takes balls.
That's a big fuck you, don't order last name.
Right? The customer then asked Austin how old he was. Austin replied, 18. So you're old enough to know better than to put your balls on someone's pizza, right? Austin's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Cops were then called.
Stupid Austin.
Right, and Austin has been charged with tampering with a consumer product. What are you doing?
I see you, baby.
Put that shit on silent. We don't own the rights for that.
I was trying to get the shaking that ass part.
We have moved on.
That was so
We
like
haven't.
45 seconds ago, bro. You got to be quicker on your web searches.
Sorry, your internet's going slow, ass.
No, I'm pretty sure it's your fault. But yeah, for the record, Austin really is sorry that he put the balls on the pizza. He did
Yeah.
not want to get caught.
We forgive him. It's okay.
Well, he did not want to get caught. That doesn't mean he's sorry. He's sorry he got caught.
Right.
I wouldn't be sorry if I put my balls on some asshole's pizza.
Why would he be sorry he got?
No,
he did it.
This
in front of
this
the
guy
person.
is not an asshole. All he did was come in before close and order a fucking pizza.
How
And you
about
know-
close?
It didn't say.
And it
It doesn't matter. If you're not closed, he can come in and order a fucking pizza.
You know, the thing is,
Yeah,
That's-
he can. He can, but he's just being.
he didn't order it delivery
What if
either.
you come
he
into
just
a
he was
restaurant-
there to pick it up. So I mean, they
No,
didn't have to.
yeah,
deliver
but
They
no.
don't deliver.
No, it's fucking Papa Murphy's. It takes them 10 minutes to make a fucking pizza, if that.
Does it even take them that long?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
So if he comes in 30 seconds before close, at most, he's 10 minutes behind schedule. Is that really a big enough deal
Yeah,
to put
but
your
he
balls
probably-
on a pizza?
He probably still has
Well, I've put my
all his
balls
shit
on
put
pizza
away
for a
already
lot
too.
less.
So
Where have you worked? So I make sure I have never ordered pizza from those locations.
I worked at Papa John's in high school.
Did you actually put your balls on a pizza?
No,
Did
but
you burn
we
your
actually
balls?
we dropped a couple dough balls in the toilet once because somebody was being a real big asshole. And then, so we went in the back and we took the dough, we rubbed it all in the inside of the toilet, put it in the water, and then went out there and slapped his pizza out.
Oh shit! How was he
disgusting,
being
sir.
an asshole?
Well, because he called and he was like, "Oh yeah, I ordered pizza like 45 minutes ago and it's not here yet." And I looked up on the thing and he ordered his pizza like 15 minutes ago. And I was like, "Dude, you only ordered like 15 minutes ago." And he's like, "No, it was like 45 minutes ago and I want new pizza. Let me talk to your boss," you know, like that kind of thing. And then like the boss comes back and like is like trying to yell at us even though like we're correct. Like the guy only ordered his pizza like 15 minutes beforehand. So we took his dough balls and wiped them on the inside of the toilet.
That seems like an asshole thing to do for a pizza. Pete.
Yeah.
He shouldn't
Pizza
be an
Hut.
asshole.
I feel bad
But
for
it-
that guy.
Then again, my brother and I ordered pizza when we were in Dakota Dunes from a pizza place, and they closed at like their website. They said they closed at midnight. They closed at midnight, but they stopped doing delivery at 10.
Oh, that sucks. I
Right?
hate that.
And so we yelled at them and left them a bad Google review.
I would too. Like if you're gonna you close the inside of your store at 10 and you deliver till 12.
yeah, that
Yeah.
would make more sense.
That makes
yeah.
more sense. But
Right.
they're like, no, we only deliver until 10.
I'm gonna give them
That's
a bad
really
Google
weird.
review
Well,
right now.
this is a town that only had one bar, and that bar closed at 10 on a
I
Saturday.
remember that.
So
So
this-
why would the pizza place be open till midnight if everything?
I don't know.
Wouldn't that be the prime time people just get home from the bar? Ooh, I'm really hungry. I should get some delivery.
Who gets home from the bar at 10?
Well, if the bars close at 10.
I
Well,
guess.
you do if you go to bed.
You start drinking at 2 p.m.
Right.
and then you leave the bar at 10.
It's a bunch of bullshit. And brighter news, Oktoberfest kicks off in
Ooh.
Munich today.
Achtung, baby.
The World Renowned Beer Festival will
One day I'll
run
get
from
there.
now, September 20th, until October
One day
5th.
We will get there.
Yes, one day we will get there.
Right? And we will broadcast from there, and it'll be awesome.
We should broadcast from Emma's some night.
We should.
Can we?
We should facilitate that.
I can ask Lynn.
At the festival, if you're lucky enough to attend, you can expect to pay up to $13.50 American for a liter of beer, which I ran the numbers. Seems like an okay deal to
Yeah.
me. 1 liter is 33.8 ounces.
Yeah, when you look at
I'll
a
pay
liter,
$13.50 for a
Oh, yeah.
liter of beer.
Yeah.
That
That's-
seems okay to me, right?
That's like almost 4 pints. So
So
Will it stay cold?
13.
no, that's like 2 pints. A pint is 16
is
ounces.
it
So you're paying
Yes.
you're
I
paying
thought it was
like
14.
almost $7 a pint. basically.
Yeah.
Well, but
Yeah.
you're also buying extremely delicious,
That's true.
real German.
Plus,
Oktoberfest
you're
beer.
at Oktober
Yeah, who
Oktoberfest.
cares?
So like, and it's probably so if it's $13.50, you're looking at like what, €7, €8,
Yeah. Not terrible.
a liter. Oh, another thing I saw, the world record for liters of beer carried in steins has been broken.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a guy in Germany broke it. He carried 23 glass liters of beer, 40 meters.
Oh goddamn.
40 meters.
That's a long way.
So
Why
I
would-
wonder
I'm
how many it
surprised.
can.
What kind of person could walk?
He
40
had like
It's
8
stacked
in
up.
each hand,
And then.
and then no, and then stacked up on top of those 16. He had the rest of them.
Oh, that's balanced.
No, wait.
Wonder how
Yeah.
much he
Did
spilled.
he stacked enough himself?
Probably not.
Because if somebody else has to stack it up for you, that's bullshit.
How is that bullshit, Carlos? You
Shouldn't
carry
No,
23 liters.
Because the thing is like you have a bartender that's pouring the beers for you, and you're the server, and this guy is probably a.
But he should
world-class
stack them
beer
himself.
server. No, you have the bartender stack it for you.
No.
Okay, well I want to see. I want to see
it should be a
Carlos.
world record.
I
if
want to
it's a
see
team.
Carlos get 4 liters of beer, stack them together. And
No,
walk
then-
them.
Yeah, and carry them 1 meter.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
challenge.
Because they hand them out, so one will go in your hand, another one will go in your hand, another one will go in your hand, and then you got the other hand. They're all
You
filling
can't
up.
do it, Pete.
And then as they're filling up the other pints, the bartender will set them on top.
Well, then the bartender
You're just
should
playing
get
to
a
the
special
camera.
mention in the Guinness
No.
World Record.
Okay, well
If
yeah.
you're making a group
the bar-
effort,
the
then it
bartender-
should be a group effort.
The bartender can have a footnote. He can have a footnote, and then
No.
Thank you, bartender.
Any monkey can stack glasses.
Exactly, but it should still be him. It
No,
should be on him.
no. To carry those 23 glasses stacked upon each other,
So it's not a solo job.
40 meters.
It's not a solo job.
The carrying and the delivery of those beers is a solo
And
job.
does he set them down on a table, or does he just like was it 40 meters before he dropped them?
No, he carried them 40 meters, and
Even
then
if you dropped him, he still carried him 40
he
meters.
still carried it 40
Well,
meters.
the
It doesn't
world-
matter.
That's then you're just wasting. That's just. A,
Do you
world
know
record
how
was-
far 40 meters is, Carlos?
You're the
too
most
far.
difficult man on earth.
I'm just saying that maybe if he had like set them down on a table and like actually served them, all right, that'd be I guess world record right there. But you walk 40 meters and then just drop them. Really?
You're just mad you didn't get any beer, aren't you?
I think I have a point here.
I don't think you
Where's
have a
your
point at all.
mallet to call an end to that?
Where are the people in the chat complaining about Carlos's point?
My dad says that Carlos needs to shut up because his point's ridiculous. But the bartender does deserve a footnote.
I'll give you that, but only if he stacked more than 23 glasses.
Yeah, well, because I'm imagining dude gets up there and he puts his hands out, and there's 12 beers or there's 6 beers in each hand.
It was like 6 or 8 in
Yeah,
each hand, and then the rest of them
you
were
stack the rest
stacked.
of them. But I mean, you got to imagine how freaking impossible that is.
Yeah, but
How
that's,
hard that
all of that falls on the server.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Like, can you, Matt?
It's
Imagine you,
Nope.
serving that many pints at once.
I think I can get 5 pints, maybe.
we've cleaned up down here trying to carry like 6 pint glasses.
And
empty
we
pint
have to take
glasses,
2 trips.
and you have to take 2 trips. Could you imagine carrying liters of beer? I mean,
But they have handles at least. If we had handles on these glasses, Casey.
I'm sorry that fine, we'll start getting liter glasses so you can carry 23 of them. Will you hand me? Actually, I want the Scottish ale. Do we have any other things to say about Oktoberfest?
What was the
No.
previous world record?
I wish I was
you
there.
know? think it
I
was-
don't know, but
I think
it was held by a woman.
Yeah, I think it was 19 is what she did, and she
Was it 19?
actually a really, really good-looking woman. I remember seeing this like 2 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Blonde German busty woman carrying
Okay.
19 beers at one time.
I'm just gonna say this before we get too far in here. The second beer that we have going around is the Thistle Scottish Ale from Pitchfork, and
I think it
it's
might be my
there-
favorite one of
wait.
theirs.
it's a delightful beer.
There's thistle in it.
No, that's just what they call it.
Oh.
Because
Thistle-
the
It's the national flower. of
it's the
Scotland.
national flower of Scotland is the thistle. Speaking of Scotland and national flowers, who is pissed off that Scotland didn't get their independence
I'm
from the
fucking
UK?
so
Didn't-
angry about
Wait,
that.
was Scotland voting for or
Yeah,
was-
Scotland
Scotland
voted,
was voting for
and they
some
voted to stay.
independence.
Yeah.
It was like 59%
That's
voted
fine.
to stay.
That's fine. I
Well,
don't
yeah,
know
of
why
course
you'd be
it's fine.
pissed. I mean, it's their choice.
Yeah, but when they did the pre-poll, it was 51% wanted to leave.
Why
Yeah.
does it matter?
Because when England gets smaller, the rest of us get happy,
Yeah.
especially those who used to be
And,
colonies,
and
like
also,
us.
I mean, you got to figure this is thousands of years of history in the British Isles. Of
Yep.
them trying to
And
get
they've
their
been
independence.
assholes to Scotland forever.
Yeah,
And then they
voted.
discovered oil there, and they were still assholes to Scotland.
Well, that's why they wanted. To
So you're saying it's like in Train Spotting when they go out to see the great outdoors and they all get pissed off at each other.
Yeah.
It's like, we're all shite. We're northern shite. We're shite with the shite that Britain pisses out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's well. So John Oliver. Do you guys? I don't know if any of you watch Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. It's an HBO show. It happens every Sunday. John Oliver hosts it. He's a British comedian. And last week they were talking about the Scottish thing, and he's like, yeah, even the flags in England don't like Scotland. So what happened was, to show solidarity to Scotland, they were going to fly the Scottish flag over Parliament. And while they were raising the flagpole broke.
I'm pretty sure what Scotland would like as solidarity is all the nukes be taken out of Scotland.
That's Scotland's biggest thing is they don't want any nukes there anymore.
Yeah, Scotland's
No
becoming
nukes!
very-
No
nukes! No nukes!
You know, I really liked how
no nukes, no nukes.
like there was there was talk to get like the move to somewhere else in Britain, and
But there's no room in Britain.
well so like they had a spot set out, and they're going to move it there, but then the politicians said no, we're not going to do that because it's too close to 500,000 people when city with like 250,000. Meanwhile, the city in Scotland that's nearby has double that.
The Brits hate the Scottish, but they still want to control them. I think it's really just the British Empire wanting to control what it has left. It's like we have like 4 or 5 countries left. We just need this.
Well, think about it. What if certain states went independent?
See, no, I think it'd be more like if Puerto Rico was like,
Texas.
we don't want to be part of America anymore.
And I don't think very many people would care here.
Yeah,
One
Nobody would
in
care.
4 Americans want their state to be out of the union.
One in 4.
What do you think of that?
I think that's 25%, and it doesn't matter. It's not 50%.
What if
like
that
Scotland.
25% is all in 3 states?
Yeah.
Then they can leave.
What if one of those states
Then
is
what?
Texas?
Then they have zero economy.
That's
So
not
you know
true.
it only takes 9 hours to drive around just England?
Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
Well,
It takes 4.5 or 5 to cross this fucking state.
well, I've driven.
Like what is it till Milwaukee from here? Is it 5 hours?
5-ish.
That's probably
It's like
5 hours.
7-ish to Chicago.
I know it's like 4 to Madison.
And that's only this tiny little chunk.
yeah.
We've my family has driven across the entirety of Texas, and that takes you about 13.5 hours.
We drove to the West
And you can
Coast, and
fit,
that took
like,
us
4
25.
Yeah.
You can
See,
fit like 4 Texases in Alaska.
oh yeah. See, and that's one thing too. Like I hate when European people complain about America's like, oh, you have no culture because you don't speak like 4 languages or whatever. It's
No,
like,
but
well, because-
every state has its own culture. Every region
exactly,
has its own
and
culture.
that's what they don't understand, and they don't even realize how big America is compared to their shitty
Yeah.
little European Union.
Hey, well, I
Is that how
won't
we feel?
quite go that far.
Well,
but
I'm
You're
talking.
shitty.
I'm talking pro-American.
Germany, we really like you,
I love
especially our German listeners.
Germany
You guys
doesn't
are
count,
awesome.
I'm talking about,
Your
I'm
little
talking
countries are
about
not
those-
shitty.
I'm talking about those countries like France. and
Yeah,
But they have
Portugal.
croissants. We don't have croissants.
Croissant.
I have croissants at work.
Monsieur
Yeah,
Benhui.
you have Burger King croissants.
They're good.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
What has France done to you?
rolls.
France has sat around and become a bunch of pussies. Since
Like,
we liberated them from the.
How has that affected you personally?
It hasn't. I just like to talk shit.
Well, should we dive into our discussion topic for the evening?
Do we have one?
Probably.
We do. I do have one. So we're going to continue our problems in craft beer. And this week we're going to do a topic I like to call flagship fatigue. And it really describes 2 aspects of craft beer. One is breweries that only serve the same 3 or 4 beers every time you're there, with an occasional seasonal. We've all experienced those, I know. The other one is breweries that are all breweries having the same 3 or 4 styles on tap. So any brewery you go to is going to have a pale ale, a brown ale, and some like they're all just going to have the same thing no matter what brewery
I want
you go
some
to.
lagers.
Well,
Yeah.
some people want that.
And that's what we're going to talk about. So the first question is, Carlos, do you get sick of seeing the same beers at every location?
I'll be honest, that really is not a problem that ever happens to me.
You don't go to a lot of breweries,
Nope.
though, do you?
I don't
No.
see why it would be a problem though, because that is basically the craft brew scene.
The same beers over and over.
Well, the same styles of beers usually.
I disagree. I feel like the craft brew scene started with innovation, and I feel like it's stagnated in a lot of ways. So you don't really get tired of seeing the same beers over,
So,
or the same styles
It's
over
not
and over.
exactly a problem that happens
Okay.
to me. So
All right. Eric, what about you?
I would say, yeah, like sometimes I do get tired of just going and seeing, okay, there's 5 different companies and 5 different IPAs and then like maybe 2 different, something else. It's like, dude, there are so many categories of beer. I would like to see these guys put out a little bit something different.
Yeah.
Like I want to go and I want to get like a really, the German dark, shoot.
Like a Dunkel?
Yeah, like
or...
a Dunkel or something like that. Whereas, instead of, okay, well, here's 6 different IPAs from 6 different companies. It's like,
Okay, well, but what about going to the same brewery and seeing the same beer? Like let's take a local example. Let's look at Rush River. They've had the same lineup since they opened. Yeah. They have a single seasonal that they switch, but it's the same seasonal every year. What do you think about that? Do you get tired of those beers?
I think that's kind of boring, but as long as the beer is good, I'm not going to get tired of it.
Okay.
And I think, if you have 2 or 3 recipes that are solid and everybody likes them, keep them up there. You got to make your money.
But do you think they should do something else as well?
Yeah, they could do something else.
Okay.
But they don't have an actual bar though. Like that's just
no. They don't have a tap room. They only distribute.
Yeah. So like I don't like if they had a tap room, maybe it'd be a little bit more of.
But don't you feel like people will get bored of the beer and then move on?
Maybe. But at the same time, like for example, I would say that Rush River would be, I think, a good idea anyways for them to move on past Rush River and try some other stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Matt, what about you? Same question. So do you get sick of seeing the same beers all the time?
Well,
I know. Do you do a lot of like brewery hopping or not really?
Not really, but think about it as the way when you were first starting. What were you making?
I guess I make a lot of the same beers over and over because I can't find the styles anywhere.
But like, what kinds of styles?
I do a lot of pale ales, bitters, Scottish ales.
IPA.
I do a couple of. I don't do IPAs very often because there's so many out there.
Yeah. Well, I just figure, that's the easiest way to start up a brewery is doing those ones.
The ones that sell the most.
And those are what's selling. So sure, you can. A lot of places aren't equipped to do like lagers and stuff like that, just because it's way more time consuming and everything like that. But I don't know. I don't think it's a bad thing. That's just the way it is at the moment.
And they are also businesses, so they.
No, I understand that they're businesses, but every place has their own pale ale.
That's why Pitchfork is pretty cool because they have the crate inside the little thing that.
It changes up every time.
Like keep the same ones, but have something special like monthly or something like that.
Well, you got to imagine too. It's like if Sam Adams stopped doing Boston Lager, it would be the same thing as like Ford stopping.
I'm not saying we need to stop like flagships. I'm saying we need to do something besides the flagship. Is my big thing. Dan, what about you? Where do you fall on this?
I've never been to a brewery.
Yes, you have. You've been to American Sky. You've been to Pitchfork.
Those are 2 breweries, and
Okay.
they both have very distinct styles. What do you think about going to American Sky and seeing the same 4 or 5 beers on tap all the time? Do you ever long for anything different, or are you happy that they do the same beers every time because you know you're going to get?
Personally, it doesn't really matter to me. With Pitchfork, they have really good beers. From what I'm told, they have a pumpkin ale coming out, and
They do.
I'm very
Couple weeks.
Yeah, I'm very prone for pumpkin
Those gross
beer.
me out.
What? You gross me out.
Excuse me?
Pumpkin beers, no thank you.
No, with Pitchfork, I like the different varieties of beer they have. I'm really into the Outwitted. It's a more potent alcohol or beer, I guess.
Outwitted is good.
Yeah, very good. American Sky. I've been in American Sky in probably a year and a half, but overall, it's good. I'm willing to pay the price that it is. It's a local beer, and
These are very diplomatic answers. I approve.
He's taking a very NPR route.
Right.
He's
like, "Latch me
So this week on
Slash me
NPR, we are going to suck brewery dick and.
Overall, variety. Variety is better, but
Is variety a non-issue for you? Like if you went to Pitchfork, like say you went to Pitchfork every week and they had the same beer every week, would you be okay with that? Or would you want it to change it up? So say you went to American Sky every week and they had the same beer every week. Like if you went to the same place, would you want the same beer every week, or would you want them to change it up?
For me, it doesn't really matter. If they're willing to make something new, I'll drink it.
Okay.
I thought the thing with American Sky was the fact that the same beers taste different every week.
That is a completely unnamed brewery that we have never talked about before.
That is not that one brewery.
Hey, I didn't fuck up this time.
Carlos, we've never said the name of that brewery on air.
We haven't?
We have not.
Oh.
And we still have not.
I guess not.
Pete?
Uh-oh.
Where do you fall on this? Do you get sick of seeing like the same beers? Like you go to American Sky and you see a pale ale. You go to Liftbridge, you see a pale ale. You go to Pitchfork, you see a pale ale. Do you get tired of seeing pale ales?
See, I've been to the three. I've been to American Sky. I've been to Liftbridge. I've been to Pitchfork. I think that all three of them have beers that they're perfecting, which is good.
Yeah.
Because they're good.
Especially if you hope to distribute.
Right, because if you're distributing, you have beers in the store, people buy them in the store. You say, oh, you can actually go to this brewery and you can have the beer there. And people go there and say, hey, do you got, I like your tail gunner. I like your Outwitted. You have that in the store or whatever. I mean, Outwitted is not in the store, but you go there and say, oh, cool, it tastes just like it was, when I had it that one time at somebody's house. But the real thing is seasonals. I think, you have your regular beers, that's good.
Yep.
That's great. People go in, I'll have a tail gunner. That sounds good. But a seasonal, like you get your spring flavored beers, like your blueberries and whatnot. You get your
fruit
ales,
flavored beers and your pumpkin ales.
Your pumpkins in the fall, things like that. That's good. I think breweries need to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I agree with what Pete's saying.
Yeah.
I think you get a fan base off of like your regular stuff, but your seasonal beers is where you show your artistry.
Yeah. I will definitely agree with that. I really like the Pitchfork is a good model. Like their tap list is always changing. I kind of like that.
That's one.
But at the same time, a good way to judge a brewery is to go get their pale ale.
Yeah.
And if you like their pale ale, you're gonna like their other beers because a pale ale is a standard.
So you're saying that every brewery should have a pale ale then?
But see, I also don't agree with that. Right now, it's a good standard because every brewery has one. I'm not necessarily saying that every brewery should have one, but every brewery does. And that's a problem when you go to the liquor store. You're like, okay, I want a pale ale. Well, there's 64 different fucking pale ales here. Which one do I want? And most of them taste the same. Most of them taste the fucking same. Because they're all trying to be West Coast pale ales, and so they're all using the same hops and the same malts. So you got a lot of Cascade and Centennial and those citrusy malts or hops and like the same malt bill, just American malts. So you're getting the same flavor from a different brewery, and I don't know if that's a good business model.
Don't look at us. Just keep. You're doing good.
Trying to look at everybody at the table. You guys are having your own conversation about cigarettes.
Why do you need to have alcohol on these shows?
Is it hard? Oh no! Just stick it back on there.
I don't think you can stick that back. You gotta.
There you go.
Well, our chat base seems to agree with
Hello.
us that everybody should have you should have a few beers that are always on the market.
Yeah.
But then you should always expand and have.
Okay. But
So,
I guess another question branching off of this, Carlos. We're gonna start with you.
Right.
Is do you think having the same beers, like every brewery having a pale ale, every brewery having a stout, do you think that's good for business, or do you think they should deviate from that and maybe do some more esoteric styles?
Well, the thing is, I would say it is good for business. Like,
Yeah.
it is nice to have some esoterics, but like people when they go to usually if they go to a place,
Carlos,
they want.
I need to stop you 1 second. I love how you sit in chairs.
Hey, sometimes I sit like this.
Carlos just melts into a chair. I don't think he actually sits in it. Like, his ass isn't even on this chair.
Yeah, we keep on touching feet too, and it's like, ugh.
Well,
All right.
you should give me more foot room.
Well, maybe you should stop taking up all.
All right, continue, Carlos.
So where was I at?
I'll just start from the top.
All right, so I think it is good that they have Like that, it is like
That they have the same style.
well, like basically nowadays that is kind of like the general style. It's like
Okay.
just that everybody has like their pale ales
Yeah.
and such. So, and like if somebody goes, if you like use like people, you were saying that like people judge, they go to a place they'll like try the pale ale and they'll judge the place on the pale ale. Well, that kind of has like expanded on the fact so that now actually people are looking for the pale ale, so they go to the place and they'll look for it. And like, while it is nice to have some esoterics, you can't fill up your whole stock with nothing but esoterics.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I suppose you could, but I mean, it's not a. You're probably not going to make that much as far as business. Like I suppose, like Dogfish they have a huge variety of things.
All of their beers are esoteric. They don't have a standard beer on there.
No, that's a little bit different. But they've been around for a while.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Dogfish is a different kind of company.
Eric, same question. Do you think that doing the same beers as every other brewery is helping or hurting their business?
That's kind of tough. It really depends on who you are and what you're making. I mean, because we all know, like, Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. I mean, that's the bomb diggity.
Yeah, but SNPA is a standard in Pale Ale and has been for 20 years.
Right.
But that's different than Joe Schmo Pale Ale, which is just coming on the market right now. And
I think in order for these,
I don't know if that's a real brewery, and I called dibs on Joe Schmo Brewing Company.
Schmo, that's terrible.
I think in order for you to be competitive, especially in the market now, with how many breweries are popping up like every week. I mean, it's getting so huge. You have to have a little bit of a leading edge, and to me, that would be in your artisanal and your seasonal beers.
Yeah. Well, that's the other problem with so many breweries popping up. They're all making a pale ale IPA, like a blonde ale or a cream ale, something lighter.
Because it's like, dude, like I can go to the beer store and I'll be like, I think I'm in the mood.
The beer store.
The
we were
beer
there.
store. We saw a store earlier called the beer store.
I know that.
The beer store.
Woodbury.
Yeah, in Woodbury. That opened last week, right?
Really?
We didn't go in there. We saw it. We're like, we got.
Or it either opened last week or it opens this week. Yeah. I'm gonna go.
We had too much beer.
It's the Four Firkins beer store.
There is a picture on my Facebook page of the beer store that was in Dundalk, Maryland, and I was driving down the highway, and there's this big sign on the side of the highway on their building that says the beer store, and there was a rainbow, and the arch of the rainbow goes perfectly on top of the beer store.
That's because that's where all the fucking leprechauns are.
Exactly. That was like the first picture I ever posted.
That's where the money's at.
Matt, same question to you. Do you think that same beers are helping or hurting breweries?
When I think of the Minneapolis scene, I think a lot of it has to do with what you have in your brew pub, like what makes it interesting to go to, and people like to go and check out new brew pubs, but they're there mostly to drink their pale ale or something like that. And they're going around.
Well, we went to Sisyphus. Sisyphus the other day, and they had, if I remember correctly, they had a blonde, a pale, an IPA,
and an oatmeal stout.
An oatmeal stout, and they had a coffee as well, which I think was the stout.
Right, which they
coffee.
added the coffee on the spot. Yep.
Yeah.
And I wasn't particularly fond of any of them, really.
I wasn't either, but, and I feel like that hurt the Sisyphus brewing industry, or the brewing company in my eyes, because they didn't have anything that made them stand out, and
but that was a really nice atmosphere that they had there.
No, the atmosphere was good.
It was packed. I mean, people like their beer, obviously.
No, yeah.
You know.
And everyone loves their local. Like, I mean, I'll talk Pitchfork up and down until I turn blue in the face. It doesn't mean they're the greatest brewing company in the world, but they're my local.
Yep.
And I know the guys, and so I love them.
And personally, I still haven't found a beer that I'm absolutely in love with there yet. So I'm still waiting on that.
No, and that's another thing is everyone tries to find the beer that they're in love with. But when I'm talking about like pale ales, everyone in their mind knows what a pale ale should taste like, right? And most people, it's Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. They taste that one and they're like, okay, this is a pale ale. All pale ales should kind of taste like this.
In my head, it's just a lighter version of an IPA. That's what's in my head.
Yeah. And so if a brewery can't pull that off, it seems suspect, I guess. But at the same time, if they did something, maybe that's not in their wheelhouse. Maybe hoppy beer is something they should do.
See, the only way that I think it'd be hurting them is the fact that if they don't do it correctly. That'd be like the thing that's hurting them. Otherwise, I think it doesn't
It doesn't matter.
To have that.
But if they don't do it, like say they're a lager brewery and they're trying to do a pale ale, they should probably just stick to their pilsners and stuff like that.
And maybe have their like a monthly rotation. Hey, this is our pale ale.
This is our ale this month.
Yep.
And, okay, Dan, what about you? I know you don't have a whole lot of experience in not necessarily or in breweries, but I'm sure you buy beer, right?
I do.
That's the thing you do. So when you go to the store and you see a
Accent.
bunch of pale ales, IPAs, and
for the
stuff like
Rolling
that,
Rock?
what do you think? Do you go
that
towards
is a good beer.
Do you go towards those, or do you go towards something like a pilsner, a porter, or something like that?
I really go for PBR,
Yeah.
and I'm really tired of people saying you're a hipster because you drink PBR.
No, you just
This
have
isn't
shitty
time to
taste.
vent, Dan.
No, fuck that. No, fuck that.
No, actually, this is
My-
perfect time to vent.
My father has been drinking that for the past 30 years, and hipsters are destroying PBR.
Did you hear that PBR got bought up by a foreign
Yeah.
company?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are you going to
Russian-
stop
a Russian
drinking
company.
PBR now?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
PBR.
Milwaukee.
All right.
Represent.
I don't know if he answered the
Wisconsin.
question, but PBR.
And then also Miller is getting bought out by Anheuser-Busch now.
They're trying to.
Trying
They
to,
haven't
yes.
yet, which will be insane if they actually do. That'll be terrible.
That's a monopoly.
right. Pete, same
Read the-
question.
Same question. Read the question.
All right.
PBR.
Do you think that having the same beers as other breweries is hurting or helping breweries? So, like, every brewery having a pale ale is helping or hurting?
Well, I mean, I think it's helping because people go there. A lot of people that go to these brew pubs, you have these crazy oatmeal stouts. You have all these crazy IPAs. They're like, oh, what is that? What do you have that's, lighter, easier to drink? People usually recommend a pale ale.
Yep.
Nice glasses, bro.
I think it's good
Okay.
to have simple beers. You can perfect a simple beer.
Yeah.
Make it taste good. Like me, I like my oatmeal stouts, but if I find a good lager or a pilsner at a brew pub, oh man, I'm all about that.
Yeah.
It's easy to
Didn't-
drink,
didn't
it tastes
Spark
great.
Have a Pilsner for a while there or something?
Yeah, their pilsner
Oh,
is
their
fantastic.
I
Pilsner
never got
is
to have
off
that.
the charts.
And the glass that they serve in is super cool. I
Yeah.
just like the
The
whole
Pils
thing
glass is
all
great.
around, yeah. But I mean, I also think it depends on what the brewery is going for, because a brewery will open up and they'll be like, oh, we're gonna do some regular beers, or they might open up thinking we're gonna do some crazy beers because we want to attract people that
Yeah, they'll
really
like
respect the
yeah.
artisanal beers. So it just really depends on what the brewery's going for. And What
Okay.
kind of people are going to go there? Obviously you want people coming in the door, so you're going to do
The things that
simple
people
beers.
recognize.
right, in that you'll get them, interested in it. They might try something new.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, I agree with a mix between yours and Matt's. I think that they need to do these simple beers so people recognize them,
Mhm.
especially if that's the type of brewery they're doing. But if their pale ale isn't quite up to snuff, I think it will hurt the brewery more
Mhm.
than help it. So if
Yeah.
they can't if that's not a style that they can do well, I think instead of trying to do that style, they should just axe it off the menu completely and make say a Scottish, an English bitter, and something else as their three flagships instead of trying to do a hoppy American beer. If that's something they can't do, then why do it?
Yeah, it's like if there was a brew pub that only did sours, I'd be in there every single day.
Right?
But I would be the only one in there.
No, I would be there right with you.
Well,
Sours are so
besides
good. You gotta come up to Bent with me,
Yes.
and they have some really good sours on tap right now.
Yes.
And I do agree with your point about how
Carlos, you keep getting lower in that chair.
we can't see you.
Carlos, sit the fuck up.
why I'm not on the camera. I don't have to have good posture.
You used to be in the camera.
You
My arm was in the camera.
But Carlos, there's two angles.
Yeah, I don't see me so on ID.
I can see your knees in one.
Anyways, what were you gonna say?
Anyways, like how you go to I go to a beer store and I try to get a
You're so short.
I try to get a and if I want a sour, I don't exactly have a huge option, but I have all the options for pale ales, so
Yeah.
it'd be nice if there was more sours, but
Well, and that kind of brings me into my other question here. So we have the standard flagships, which seem to be like pale ale, IPA, a lighter blonde or lager type beer, and usually a stout or a brown or something darker. What would you like to see as your as a flagship beer that all breweries started doing? Just so you would have more options in that
I would
style.
go with I'd go with sour, just because of the fact that there's so many different ways it could go that there's just a huge variety.
Oh,
of
sour
things.
beers are. We need to do another sour beer show. Problem is that one that we did was still our most expensive show to date. It was a $200 show.
He starts crying.
It was terrible.
I think one that should be at most places is a Pilsner.
A pills?
Yep.
Yeah, because
I would
that
like to see more pills.
I think that would get more clientele in actually, because like my dad, for example, he went to the
the beer fest
the beer fest, and he was really hoping for some more lagers and pilsners and stuff because the older generation.
Well, I gave your dad some of my pills, and he was okay with it. You didn't care for it.
No, not too much.
It was
No,
a
I
bad
think-
pills. I'm sorry.
I think that should be.
A dad pills.
I think
No,
that
bad
should be a thing that is
Yeah.
at more places.
I would like to see more pills. Eric, what about you? What would you like to see more of?
I would like to see more beers with more maltier characters than a lot of. It seems like a lot of the beers you find are all like hop centric. Like I want to see more malt varieties.
Mhm.
I want to taste a little bit more grain and deliciousness. A lot
More
more
stouts.
Euro styles. Yeah, more stouts, more darker stuff.
Yeah.
I think everything that we get, that everybody's all celebrating and clamoring over, it's all the same thing basically.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see more malt. I like malt.
Well, and seeing the same thing is something that this show, I feel like, accentuates really well, because we try a different beer every show.
Oh yeah, we always.
But the majority of them are pale ales, IPAs. Like I've been trying to get out of that a little bit, but it's hard.
Does that say something about our show, or does that say something about what kind of beers there are?
I think it more says something about the beers that are available, because
think so, too.
if there's something esoteric out there, we pick it up
Yeah, we wanna
and we try it.
Right.
But we're 87 shows in, and I haven't done the math yet, and I kind of want to go back and see, calculate what styles we've tried. But the majority of them, I think, have been IPAs.
I would probably think so, yeah. And that's just what you find. on
But
the
maybe that's also our palate as well. We kind of gravitate towards those types of beers.
Yeah, if you see like a pale ale that you haven't had before, of course you're going to be like, oh well, I want to.
We got to stack this up
But,
next to the other pale ales
Right,
and see
right.
how it is.
Which I mean is a good market, I guess, for us. It's a good test for us. But as far as just the beers that are out there, like I said, I want more malty characters.
Yeah.
I want to taste
Something more malt
darker beers.
forward.
Something that's more earthy.
Okay. All right. So if I got this right, Carlos wants sours. You want malt forward. Matt wants pills. You want more PBR.
Yes.
Right, Dan? Man, why can't every beer be PBR? That'd just be the greatest. No, but in all seriousness, Dan, what type of beer would you like to see more of on the market? Like, is there a certain style that you really enjoy that you'd like to see more of?
The lighter beers that go down easy.
Oh, fuck light beers.
No? So would you like to see more stouts, more heavy stuff? Or more of the high ABV? Or...
I'm not a real big IPA kind of guy. I tried Sierra Nevada. I didn't like it. It's too hoppy.
The pale ale or
Yeah,
the IPA?
The IPA. The
Okay.
IPA.
The torpedo.
There is a beer that I cannot figure out. I had it maybe 3 years ago at Dick's Bar in Hudson. It was actually a peppermint
Really?
kind of beer. Yeah. And I don't know what kind of beer it is.
All right, well, we'll put it out to the internet. And guys, if you can figure out what kind of beer that is, let Dan know so we can find it again. Describe the beer. So it had peppermint?
It had peppermint.
Was it lighter, darker in color?
It was darker. It was...
It's like a peppermint stout?
Yeah. It had a good mint flavor to it, and the bartender said they were serving it only during the week of Christmas. So it was the 21st through like the 27th at the time.
Okay.
Was it Left Hand Peppermint Patty?
I don't know.
That actually sounds really good. Left Hand makes some good shit.
Left Hand does, or Mankato.
Though
Brewery.
I had a peppermint stout from an unnamed brewery that tasted like the dentist office.
I think I know which one you're talking about, because I described it the same way. Like I was chewing on a
surgical
a
glove or
dentist's glove
something.
that was inside somebody's mouth.
That's
That's-
freaking disgusting.
That's
Didn't
It was brutal.
Left Hand also make a pepper thing too?
Maybe.
It had like a bunch of buildings on the sides of it. It looked like something out of like Israel, Bethlehem.
That
type.
seems like something we would put on the wall if we had tried it. I don't see it up there. But
That
it's
was like when you
possible.
guys first moved in here. I bought a bunch of different Left Hand stuff.
It's possible. Left Hand makes some really good stuff. I'm really happy with that brewery. Okay. Pete, what kind of beers would you like to see more?
obviously.
don't see,
I'd like to see more sours. They're harder to do. Not many
They
people
are.
do 'em.
They're definitely hard to do, and the time commitment
Mhm.
is a lot more. You're looking at a year
And-
minimum for a lot of them.
And you have to have specialized equipment too.
You don't really have to specialize equipment.
Well,
you just have
unless
it
you're using
separate
stainless,
equipment.
Yeah, right,
Mhm.
right.
Uh,
Well,
But-
that's what
but-
I'm saying.
But mainly, I'd say nitro stouts or anything. It doesn't
Anything
necessarily
on
have to
nitro?
be nitro, but nitro stouts they always get me. I mean,
have you had a bunch of like have you had anything off of like a beer engine, off of a cask?
I don't know what that means.
All right, so you know what a cask is, right? Pitchfork has a cask every week.
The Firkin?
The Firkin, yeah,
Mhm,
that's a cask. So a beer engine is something that pulls something out of pulls the beer out of the cask. It's like a pump, and then a lot of them will put a what's called a sparkler on the end of the beer engine, and that'll give it a nitro-like character without any nitro.
Really?
I want all the nitro though.
Yeah, I have to give it a shot.
I fell in love. I was in Eau Claire, or not Eau Claire. I was in Duluth, and I had Fitgers
Oh, yeah.
Star Pale Ale off the beer engine, and my God, that changed my life. It
Did
was
it?
amazing.
I've been to Fitgers, but I didn't have that.
Oh, it was so good, so good. I bought 3 pints, and then I stole a barrel. But that's.
I hope they're not listening.
So yeah, no, I would like to see a lot more English styles. You don't see a lot of bitters in the U.S. English bitter is one of my favorite styles of beer. It's more the malty side with just enough bitterness to balance it out. So like you hear bitter, and I feel like most Americans go straight to pale ale, but it's more like a mild pale.
Right.
And lower
You know,
carbonation, usually served off of cask or a beer engine, and those traditional styles I like to see more of.
I agree with that.
Sours also I'd love to see more of, but that's more of a personal thing, where I love a good sour beer. Oh, sour beers are so good. But I feel like there could be a...
Whoa! Did somebody did a robot voice just say they're going to terminate us because of inactivity?
I don't know what that means.
Well, shit.
Don't know what happened.
But I feel like those English styles would appeal to a bigger audience here
Yeah,
in the U.S.
I think so
because
too.
they're not overly hoppy.
Yeah.
And I feel like, especially when I'm sitting at a bar talking with somebody, I'm like, oh, what kind of beer do you like? Well, I don't like the dark beers. And anytime somebody says I don't like dark beers, I immediately think they don't like hoppy beers.
Yeah, right.
Because they've tried them, they're too bitter.
Right.
Which Matt was the same way. He hated bitter beers for the longest
I
time.
still don't like dark beers though. Like that Scottish ale, it's all right.
Is it too dark?
Dude, but dark beers have all the flavors in them.
I
though.
could care
mean,
less about that.
I don't, but melanoidins and stuff like that, I don't really care about. I like something lighter that I can drink a lot of. And session ales would be another thing. A lot of European beers, they come in at that 4.5%, 4% range, where you can drink 3-4 pints of them before starting to, get, okay, I should probably stop. A lot of American beers, you get them, they're, 6, 7, 8%. You can have 1 or 2, and you got to stop if you want to actually do anything for the rest of the day.
You know, when you say that with like the sessions, I think America could benefit from more of like sessions or saison types, where you're usually using like the characteristics of what's around you, what's local. Like something like that would be freaking
Like the yokel.
Yokel's good,
yeah,
but
something
it's
like
not
that,
local. But
Um,
Yokel's good. But no, give me a 4.5% English bitter, or even let's make a new style, an American bitter.
Yeah.
That's
something that you can go like
4.5%.
and you can buy pictures of or whatever and share with your friends. Like they have, I mean, those kinds of beers
Made with
obviously-
local ingredients
They're huge in like British pubs, like stuff like that.
that you can actually drink more than one of.
Yeah, right. That would be awesome.
But I feel like I don't know if that would do great in America because we have such a culture around just getting hammered. Right? I mean, people like nobody goes to a bar just to have a pint anymore. It's all, oh, let's go to the bar, get drunk.
Exactly.
I think that's.
But I would rather go to the bar, have a couple of pints, and then go home.
Well, I think that's the difference too between we'll use like the UK as an example and the American culture. It's like we're like, oh, let's go to the beer, let's get party, we'll get totally ripped in, and we'll be so drunk. But this is something that they do like 5 nights out of the week. There's babysitters in the UK that specifically only babysit kids for like 2 hours while the parents go to pubs.
Because that's where all the social
that's
happens.
where the social stuff happens, and they have those kinds of beers like you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's like here,
and that's the standard there instead of
Right.
we go to a bar and we're getting a 6-7% pint,
Right.
and then we're like we're gonna back it up with a shot of whiskey,
Right. Yeah.
and then we're gonna back that up with another drink of or another pint of beer,
and
and then another 2 shots of whiskey,
and then we're gonna go to Denny's.
If we remember the night, we fucked up.
Yeah, exactly.
And I like the idea of you just go, you have your meal, a few pints, and then you go home. I like that. That makes more sense to me. And that's why I like when I'm brewing, I personally brew the lighter ABV beers.
I agree with that.
Does anybody else have anything they want to say on the subject?
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
All right. Well, then we'll start wrapping up the show here.
Okay, we'll start wrapping it up.
I'm sorry, I had to turn that
And
shit
we're
down.
starting now.
And we're starting now. All right. Well, don't forget, you guys can listen live every Saturday at blindnewsstudios.com/live or youtube.com/blindnewsstudios. If you have any comments, questions, show ideas, you can send those to feedback@blindnewsstudios.com. And remember, we are off next week. There is no show next week. We'll be back the week after with a delightful discussion about something really interesting, I'm sure. Carlos, if people want to support us, how can they do that?
Well, there's both the Patreon, where you can just give us as little as $1 a month to help support us, and then there's also Amazon affiliate links. Links to both of those are on our website.
Okay, what is Patreon?
Well, if they haven't figured it out by now, they haven't been listening, but it's...
well, we always have to assume that somebody is listening for the first time right
new
now.
viewer.
But we don't have
You're
to
my
spend-
favorite viewer, you new viewer, right? You.
So you just go on Patreon, you can give us as little as $1 a month, you give us $5 a month.
So Patreon is like a recurring tip jar
Yes,
where
I'd say
you
that.
give us something and we give you something in return. It's like Kickstarter but ongoing.
But you of course get the stuff for free either way, but you're just helping us run
Yes.
this stuff.
Wait a minute, I'm confused. What's Amazon?
So if you want to do an Amazon affiliate link, you basically go to our homepage, you grab Carlos is pissed now. You click on the Amazon link, do your regular Amazon shopping, and then when you check out, Amazon gives us a little kickback of whatever you ordered. So it helps us out. It doesn't take really any time out of your day except an extra click through on your way to Amazon, and it's fantastic. If you have any feedback on this show or any of other shows, go ahead and send us an email at feedback@blindnewsstudios.com. If you go ahead and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/blindnewsstudios or follow us on Twitter at blind_ninja. And I'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Goodbye.
No.
Hello, live stream. How's it going? What are you buying?
What are you selling, stranger?
I'll buy that for a good price.
Not enough cash.
Resident Evil 4.
We all know that one.
I never played. I just watched somebody play
You
it once.
fag. Go play the real man's game.
That or Metal Gear Solid. I don't know that.
Should I stop the
Metal Gear Solid.